First 3 years in the business, 9 business partners, and none of us took any money home. Hi, my name is Rajiv Talreja, and today I've built 4 businesses with 3 business partners. But for the first 3 years of my business journey, we were 9 business partners because I had the habit of distributing equity of my business amongst my team members because I did not have the money to pay them salaries. I soon realized this was a huge mistake because I was treating the equity of my business like a prasadam in a temple or like a piece of my birthday cake where I was cutting slices and making everybody eat it. I soon realized this was a big mistake, and for those of you who also fall into the similar pattern of distributing equities just because you don't have the money to pay salaries to your team members, I want you to watch this video till the end because I'm going to prove you wrong. The value I attached to the equity of my business was actually a clear indicator of the clarity I had about the vision for my business. Here's what I've noticed. Entrepreneurs who have a clear vision and they have conviction that they are building a business which is going to be meaningful, they are building a business that is going to be scalable and sizable, they actually attach massive value to their equity. But it is entrepreneurs who are building a business for the sake of building a business, for the sake of khud ka business hona chahiye, startup hona chahiye. Those entrepreneurs who don't have any clarity of vision, they don't know where they are going, they don't know what they are building, they don't know how they are going to scale it up. These are the people who treat equity like a cheap commodity and distribute it amongst team members. These are the people who treat business like a gamble and they say lag gaya to theek, nahi laga to bhi theek, because there's no money going out. Equity dekar logo ko khush kar dete hai. That's the psychology of these entrepreneurs. But here are some lessons that I have learned in my journey as an entrepreneur when it comes to hiring talent and compensating them, especially when you don't have the money. So I want to share those lessons with you. Here's my first lesson. The first lesson is determine your hiring needs. Understand what is the nature of the jobs that are available in your business and what is the nature of tasks in those jobs. Are those tasks technically sophisticated tasks where you're going to need experts? You're going to need people who come with deep technical capabilities to build your product or deliver your service. Or are those tasks in the job roles that you are looking at hiring for basic tasks where you don't need technical competence, but you need volumes of people. You need many people, many hands on deck to get the work done. That's the first thing you need to determine. Your hiring needs. Is it technical or is it volume-based basic tasks? The second lesson is don't hire whoever comes. Hire who fits. Now, this is a very important lesson to remember as an entrepreneur. You know, in the initial stages of your business, you want people to join you. But because you don't have the brand name, probably you don't have the office and infrastructure, probably you don't have the money to pay, what ends up happening is not many people are excited about working for you or working with you. Now, when you face that lack of excitement in people, I have seen too many entrepreneurs fall into the trap of hiring anybody who comes for an interview, because in their head, the thought is at least this person came for the interview. No. So please don't make this mistake. Don't hire whoever comes. Hire people who fit. Hire people who fit into that job role. Do they have the required skills? Do they have the required knowledge? Do they have the required experience? Do they have the required attitude to fit into that particular job role? Because if they don't have the required attitude, skills and knowledge, then that's like hiring a useless son-in-law. Sar pe baith ke fukad ka khayega aur sar dard ho jayega. So remember, hire people who fit. The third lesson is this. Talent comes at a price. Now, this is a very, very important lesson to learn as an entrepreneur when it comes to hiring. Talent comes at a price, and if you're not willing to pay the price, you'll pay a bigger price, my friend. Please understand this. If you throw peanuts, you will only get monkeys. Please know what is the level of capability a person needs to have. And people who are capable may demand a high salary, and it's okay to pay them that amount of money because at least you can hold them responsible to the result. Because sometimes when you hire people at a low salary, leave alone them, you yourself are convinced isse kuch na ho paega, and you are ending up paying money on a monthly basis and leaking your resources without it hurting you, thinking that okay, someday this person will dramatically turn around. Talent comes at a price. If you're not willing to pay that price, you'll pay a bigger price. Here's my fourth lesson. Always pay by cash. Don't pay by equity. Let that not be your first option. I know paying by equity seems like an easy escape route, but take the responsibility to generate positive cash flows in your business. Figure a way out to start with a minimal viable product which can generate revenues for your business. Be focused on the marketing and sales aspects so that you're generating cash flows for your business consistently and you're paying people. And remember the rule, as a small and medium enterprise, you don't have to mass hire people. You can hire one person at a time, one department at a time, in a manner where as you're hiring a person, the burden on you is reducing and you can focus more on growth to make sure that you are building a positive cash business. So always look at paying by cash. The next rule is this: pay by equity only and only if you need technically capable people, and only if you need to mass hire because of the need for speed to execute at a scale. Only then pay by equity. Please remember this rule. If you are building a tech product and that tech product needs capable hands on deck, then yes, go out there and identify people who come with that technical competence and excite them by offering an equity. But how do you offer that equity is what I'm going to show you next. Only if you need people who come with a specific technical competence, then you pay by equity. And only if you can't afford the philosophy of one person at a time, one department at a time, and you need to hire a group of people who are critical to getting your business journey started, only then you pay by equity. Which brings me to the next important lesson. Tie up the equity with the individual's goals and the business growth goals. So when you are determining the equity option for an individual whom you are hiring, make sure you have defined a clear goal that that individual is fully responsible to deliver for the business. And it's not just equity to be paid to an individual just because they achieve their individual goals. Also tie that up with the business growth that needs to be happening. Because at the end of the day, if you give equity just because an individual delivered on their particular job role, but your business has not taken off, then you've created something which is not of value to them, neither is it of value to you. So tie up the equity to the individual's goals and the business growth goals as well. And finally, this is how you measure equity and determine equity when you're paying by equity. You measure equity based on the results contribution of that individual. You also measure equity based on the longevity or the loyalty factor, where you keep a criteria that the equity will be allotted only after the person is with the business for 5 years or 7 years. Whatever you feel is a fair longevity that you expect that team member to provide. And thirdly, make the equity payable on the fitment of the person with the culture. A person may be competent, but if they are not committed, then they are not the right kind of person to have in your environment. So these are the three parameters: results contribution of the individual, longevity of the person with the organization, and third, fitment of the person with the culture of the organization. When you give equity to people who meet these three criteria, then you don't have a heartburn in giving that equity when your business grows. You actually feel good about empowering people like these with equity, because then you truly have business partners who earn their right, who earn their place, who earn their value. So I hope all these lessons serve you to figure out what's the right way of compensating the talent as a startup. So in summary, remember this: equity is expensive. Don't go out there and distribute it cheaply. Make sure you value the value of what you are creating, and make sure you make people add value and generate massive value for what they are contributing. If you got that lesson, then the purpose of this video is accomplished. There's one last step I'd like you to take before you leave today. Make sure you click on the link below and register yourself for my upcoming Business Breakthrough Seminar, which is a 4-hour training where I break down a step-by-step system to build a business which can grow without you. Make sure you click on the link below, and I look forward to seeing you there at the Business Breakthrough Seminar.